going on, y'all? I want to make a quick video, and this is important for me to make because we always hear a whole lot about how trained fighters can beat those who are untrained and everything like that. But there's a psychology that's supposed to come and really is supposed to supersede the physical act of training. And what that is the overcoming of the fear of confrontation. Now, it works both ways. There's overcoming the fear of confrontation when you have to be active and dealing with people, meaning you have to actually go and confront someone regardless of the reason. It could be because they said something disrespectful to you or did something disrespectful, or it's just something that you personally have to overcome in order to become better and get to a higher level in life. And then there is the act of confrontation where someone is pressing you, where someone is coming to you, and it could be for whatever reason they're coming to you. They may want to start some nonsense with you. They may say something or do something disrespectful to you. They may also have an issue with you that you may have started, and it's a multitude of reasons. But they both work both ways. And until you do overcome the fear of confrontation, whether you have to be active or reactive or responsive, then the rule is simple. You can't truly call yourself a fighter, okay, in any way, shape, or form. Because fighting demands confrontation. Without confrontation, there's no fighting, period, point blank. And this doesn't matter if you have had extensive training in the combative arts or if you have, or if you haven't. Okay, because regardless of your training, life is life, and people are going to do what people do, and they're going to act how they will, and you can't shy away from that. There are situations where you're going to have to just face them head on and deal with them, and you can't ignore that or put that on the back burner. So the psychology of a fighter, a warrior, of adults, of people, you got to get over the fear of confrontation. You can't concern yourself also, and this is the most important thing, particularly when we are on the attack, for lack of a better word. When we confront people, when we confront things, we can't be concerned so much with the expectation of said confrontation. You can play a scenario in your head time and time again about how you want things to go, but you're going to end up being depressed if they don't go that way. And it's always a 50-50 chance of it not going the way you want it to go. All right. And another thing that I need to point out is the primary reason why people do the things that they do is because of the expectation behind it. If you don't feel like you'll be successful, then there's no reason for you to do it. If you don't believe that confronting someone is going to get the desired result, you're likely not going to face said person. It don't matter. Once again, I can use many examples. For us men, it might be a woman we want to holler at. For the women, hell, it might even be a man you want to get to know. I ain't gonna say we. I'm not a woman, but you get the point. You might want to go for a particular position at a job, at your place of work, your place of employment. You may just want to overcome, confront the fear of fighting. Confront the fear of getting hit in the face or just getting hit in general. It's a lot of things that we as people, we have to confront. And the primary reason we don't engage in confrontation of those types of things is because it demands change in some instances, because you're taking yourself, and I hate to be repetitive, from a previous state to a greater state. Like I remember when I was younger, I think some people probably still hold this belief also, but since I talked about men approaching women, some people I knew had this nonsensical idea of saying that if you approach the ugly girls, that'll boost your confidence when it comes to approaching beautiful women. I never liked that because, by nature, why would I go after a woman that's not beautiful? I don't care how shallow that sounds, but ideally, because we are visual beings as men, I'm not going to holler at, I'm not going to holler at an ugly woman if there's a beautiful woman also right there. I'm going to holler at the beautiful woman. I don't care if they're friends or not. I'm not going after the ugly drawn. I'm going after the fine drawn. That's the logical thing to do. So, and it's the same thing with women. Women ain't going to holler at, ain't going to, if they really want a man like that, because women are actually more reserved than men are in that regard. But if a woman wants to get to know a man between two men, she going to go after the man that's handsome, not the man that's ugly. That's just logic. But it also is just the issue of just facing what you need to face. Ultimately, that's what confrontation is. You have to face what you need to face. And the more you deal with confrontations, the greater you become at dealing with confrontations. You know, I know it sounds basic and corny, but that's just the truth. But you never want to stay in a position of, fear. Okay, yeah, you're fearful of doing something or saying something to somebody, but another fact of confrontation is that you only confront something when you need to. If you do the things you want to, we do what we want to do because it's safe. We do what we need to do because it's necessary. People don't do something unsafe by choice, by nature, because by nature, human beings only seek comfortability. No one's going to go after something that makes them uncomfortable unless it's necessary, But I just wanted to touch on that today. Like, if for all the people that, I know we as martial artists and trained combat fighters, I know we like to riff on people that don't train and think they know how to fight and don't really know how to fight. But the psychology of a human being makes up everything, and it basically sets everything up for the human being as a whole. So you can talk about, I can fight better than the person, but the person who's untrained could probably whoop your ass despite all the training you have, because you may be reserved when it comes to, you may be passive, you may not be truly dead set on hurting another being, despite the fact that you are fully capable of hurting another human being better than someone who doesn't have the training you have. So it really does start here and here. These two are connected. If you ain't got the heart and the mental capacity to confront what you need to confront, then it doesn't matter. All the training in the world is pointless if you don't use it when you need to. Okay? Like, learning how to fight isn't just about being able to hurt people. It's also about being able to handle the situations that come your way or handle the situations that you need to handle. Okay? Appreciate you guys for watching this video. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Until that time, you already know what I'm about to say. Train daily. Peace. I'm out.